Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Blazer Guy 1983 doing a quick video today. Shouldn't take very long. This is a 2011 Nissan Altima. Has the 2.5 liter. It's the SL, but I don't think that really applies too much to this situation with the CVT transmission. And what we're tackling today is the driver's side upper transmission mount, and we're going to show you a quick tutorial on how to replace that mount whenever it fails. One thing to look out for is if you are having some vibration in your steering wheel, especially when the car is at a higher idle when it's cold outside, and you get a lot of vibration through the steering wheel, and you can feel the engine feels like it's running really rough, and you're almost getting a vibration through the whole body of the vehicle. Often that can be misdiagnosed as just being a bad engine mount, but keep in mind there's other mounts. It could also be the transmission mount. Just to show you real quickly here, a couple of the mounts I can't really show you because they're underneath the engine, but this is a primary insulator mount here. This is the primary engine mount. It's responsible for not only holding the engine, but it also has the ability to dampen vibration so you don't get as much vibration through the vehicle. And you don't have that direct metal-to-metal contact with the engine just sitting on it. You also have a torque mount right here, which bolts right here to this side of the strut tower with this little adapter here. That keeps the engine from rocking this way. Those fail and need to be replaced. You just want to check the bushing in here. And there's also a lower engine mount that's way down there that's really difficult to see, so I'm not going to be able to videotape that. And you have a like I said, I believe, and I could be wrong on this, you might have a transmission mount over there on the bottom. Correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember. But we're going to replace the one that's under this air filter here. So without further ado, I'm going to try to give you a quick heads up. What I did here was I got a little piece of block of wood, and I put it on a jack, and I put it right on the transmission pan on the driver's side. Just gave it a little bit of a lift. I mean, we're just talking enough just to, so when I take that mount off that holds the side of the engine and the transmission up, it just doesn't, it's just going to drop out. That's all it's holding it. So I got a little block of wood there so it doesn't damage the pan, and just a little bit of upward pressure to hold that in place. So that's already completed underneath on the driver's side. Some basic hand tools should do the trick. I got some sockets, a socket wrench. I'm going to use an impact for some of the main bolts just to speed things up. A little bit of thread lock for the bolts. I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm going to put some on the main bolt. This is what the transmission mount looks like, just for reference. It's just the bottom of it here. This is the top of it. And what's happened to mine is it's not so much of a vibration issue, but the hydraulic fluid has blown out of it. And this center here area where I'm putting my thumb was filled with hydraulic fluid. That's what caught my attention, that it was bad. So let's see here. Let me try to get you in focus here. This is the part number here. I went with the one from AutoZone. It's the 9465. Probably manufactured by Anchor, I would assume. I don't know because it's the same part number as Anchor. And then also have up here a magnetic dish to hold some bolts, flathead screwdriver, and some pliers just to get some of the wire loom connectors off the airbox. So without further ado, I'm going to try to get you set up on the best possible view I can give you on tripod, and we're going to get at this. Okay, hopefully you guys have a decent view here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take this air box off here. So you're just going to basically pop these little tabs there. This lifts straight up here. This is your air filter in here, and sit that aside. Once you have that in a safe place, the mount is actually straight down here. I don't even know if you can even see it. I can touch it with my finger. Then we're going to take off, just to give us some more room here, this air box here. So I'm going to take this little plastic retainer here. I'm going to squeeze it with some pliers, and that should just pop out of there. Apologize, I got the sun beat in my eyes. I can't see what I'm doing. Everything's shadowing. Not fully awake yet. There we go. Okay, and this one there I'll probably take off once I get this loosened up a little better. So then we're going to go ahead and disconnect the this is the mass airflow sensor. There's a little push tab. Just push down and lift up, and then we will disconnect this here. A little tight. I mean, if you really want to give yourself some extra room, you could take this engine cover off, but not really necessary, to be honest with you. So let's see if I can get at it here. Should have got bigger pliers. Oh, come on. Come on, Dan. These pliers are awful. There we go. So that just takes that mass airflow sensor connector and kind of gets it out of the way. So now, with that over there, we're going to go ahead and tackle this bolt right here. This is a little screw here that holds the air filter hose on induction here. We're going to go ahead and just loosen that. That's just going to give us the ability to take this whole air box off the hose. Doing this left-handed because I got the camera here, just trying to keep some extra room here so I can get at it. All right, so that's done, and I believe there's just it just sits in there, and then back down in here, straight down here, there's going to be, I think it looks like a 10 millimeter. Let me get some extensions here. Okay. Yeah, I got a 10 millimeter down here, so we're going to go straight down in here, right next to the strut tower. Yeah, it's a 10 millimeter. I'll put that. Can't remember if this comes out all the way or if it stays in the airbox. It's been a while. Get down at it here. All right, it does come out. So there's what that fastener looks like. All right. Put that in a magnetic dish, set that aside. So now, should be able to lift straight up and out with this, I believe. Shouldn't really have any reason that you couldn't just lift this out of here. Kind of gotta mess with it there. There we go. Now that whole air box comes out. Now that should give you primo view of that engine or transmission mount down there. So we're going to see if we can get you a little closer here into view. There you go. So that should be a pretty good view, right? So there's going to be, I'll get the mount so I can show you for reference here. You could probably see all that fluid on there too, how it's all filled up there. And it looks kind of collapsed. So the mount goes like this. And you can see there's this, this, and this. That's where the 3 volts are. We're going to start with that center one first and then get that off. We're going to use air tools for that because that just speeds things up a tiny bit. Sure, we're on loosen there. All right, we are on loosen. Set our air tool here to the side out of the way. Figure out what socket that is. I can't remember. Let's start with the, let's see. It kind of looks like a 15. So let's start with a 15. No, that is not a 15. So that's more like a, it's not that. So it must be an 18. So let's see. 18, and then these ones out there, the outer ones are 15, the inner ones are 18. Okay, good to know. Noted. I think so anyway. Let me double check. Actually 16. I take that back. So the outer ones are 16. That inner one that holds the stud, there's a stud that comes straight up out of the transmission there. We're going to set the 16 aside. We don't need it quite yet. I'm going to take this middle one out. It's going to move a little bit, so just be aware. Okay. Set that aside. I'm gonna put that in my magnetic dish. Now we can switch over to the 16 and get these out. They come out right out pretty easy. As you can see, we're We're almost done already. Alright, gonna sit those 3 like that in the dish. Might have to give it a little love tap here. Maybe I'll take the back of my socket wrench and give it a little. I'm going to put that center nut back on for just a second, just in case something really bad happens. Okay, so it looks like it's seized a little bit in there, so which that happens, unfortunately. So let me grab something. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. What I had to do was I had to get out a mallet, and I put that center bolt just in case something weird happens. I don't want the engine to drop and damage anything, and kind of just gave it a little bit of a love tap because it was seized to the, hermetically seized to the metal down there. So now we can take that center bolt out safely, that it's moving. And then we're going to put that in the dish, and then the mount should just lift straight up, as you can see. Yeah, I don't know what seems to cause these to fail. I mean, but you can see like the inside of that, it's all blown out and all the hydraulic fluid came out. Weird. Not surprised though. So I'm going to do here, I'm going to clean this up real quick here with something. Let me get a wire brush and I'll bring you back. Okay, so what I did here was I got a little wire brush here. Might be a little overkill, but I'm just going to clean up this mating surface a little bit here. Not necessary, but because I can put a little bit of fluid film on here when I'm done, it might kind of help keep this from happening again, where it gets hermetically sealed to this if I have to change this again, which I probably will, because it seems to be a common issue here. We're not really going for perfection here. Yeah, we're not going for perfection. We're just trying to get this to keep from doing that again. A little bit of brake clean there. Okay, hopefully you're actually still seeing something. Clean that up real quick here with a rag. Sure the threads and everything look good, which they do. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now, grab my fluid film. This is completely optional, just something I'm doing to kind of make it so it, like I said, doesn't get stuck on there next time. That's a little bit of fluid film. I'm going to clean up the threads on there because I'm going to put a little thread lock on there when we're done. Okay, so let's get the new mount in place. Hopefully this AutoZone one lasts a little longer than the one I got from the jungle site. Alright, we're just going to start threading these guys back in. Let's see if I can get you even a little closer here, maybe. Hopefully my arm's not in the way. Alright, that one back here. I always want to start all this stuff by hand. You're only going into aluminum, obviously. Sure, there's a torquing spec for it. Do I know what it is? Not a clue. Couldn't tell you. That was just an extra bolt. It's not important. Didn't go to the car. It was in the dish already. It's on the ground. Fell out there. Yeah, like I said, I guarantee you there's some kind of torquing spec for all this stuff, so... Okay, I'll get that center bolt here. or nut, I should say. And like I said, this, I don't know if it's necessary. I'm just doing it because it might help alleviate any possibilities of this vibrating loose, because it is basically holding the engine up. So we're just going to take here and put a little bit of thread lock that I have laying around in here. Maybe. Okay, and that's just for my own sanity's sake. Probably not necessary, but it's there. Okay, so that looks good. We should be able to go ahead and get in here with the impact now and tighten that down. So it's going to be a little bit of a noise alert here. Beautiful. Okay, and then now, gotta tighten that down a little bit. Put the 18 on there. Get my socket swapped out. All right, I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out which way is center. Probably a little too tight. Should be good. I will check that with a socket wrench here just to make sure. Just make sure that's tight. Yeah, that's tight. Beautiful. And I'm going to clean up our extra Loctite off there just to make it look pretty. All right, and that is installed. Just make sure it looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and slowly lower the take that jack out from under there. Alright, jack has been removed. It's officially sitting on the mount. Looks good. Beautiful. Looks good to me. So now we got that installed. What I'm going to do here is I see some of these areas back here. I'm just going to throw a little bit of fluid film on a couple little areas back there that I see the connections and stuff, just to kind of keep the rust down a little bit. There's some grounds back here. I'm going to hit them real good. Figure while you're in there, might as well, right? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put our air box back in here. See if we can borrow some of this fluid film here, or grease, I should say. Okay. See if I can get you up a little bit here. All right, so now we're going to take this. I just put a little bit of grease on these little nipple guys here, just so they slide into the grommets a little easier. Let's try to get down in there, see what I'm doing here. You gotta get your hose on nice and even and straight, make sure it's on right. Let's see here. All right, that went right in, no problem. Beautiful. Hose is on all the way. Yes, it is. Okay. So I guess there's no reason why we just can't go ahead and tighten this hose clamp up here. Sorry, I'm doing this left-handed for video purposes. And I'm right-handed, so it's not working out very well. All right, so I got that. And then now we can go ahead and grab your sensor here, which I think I accidentally let it fall down behind all this crap like an idiot. Where are we at here? Grab it here. Let's fish our mass airflow sensor wire back out. Goes behind this little clip there. There's another little clip here that goes into, that holds it and plugs right back in. Good time to clean your mass airflow sensor if it needs done. All right, now we're going to put this guy back in, which is this bolt that goes way down back in here, which you probably can't even see. You just got to trust me. Let's grab our socket here. All right, let's get back on it. Let's try that again. All right, now we're doing something. Sorry about that. Apparently I was doing a whole lot of nothing there a second ago. And it's a long one. You don't want to go too tight because you don't want to crack the box. It's just screwing in the plastic. Right about there. Beautiful. Lots of dead lantern flies. All right, so I got your air filter. Make sure it's in there correctly. We're gonna go ahead and pop that on there. Pop that like that. All right, and then make sure everything's seated good. That's tight. It's all the way around. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to pause you and come back for a final summary. All right, I just wanted to come back and summarize real quick. Got that all buttoned up. Got everything put back in place. New transmission mount installed. And we'll start it up, take it for a drive, but I predict it should be fine. I don't really know what causes those things to go bad like that. I think if it goes bad again, I'm just going to bite the bullet and actually buy an actual genuine Nissan one. It seems like these aftermarket ones, I know like the Beck Arnie one I had on there, it failed in less than 2 years. I mean, it completely collapsed and the engine was basically just sitting metal on metal, and that created a lot of vibration. So like I said, not really sure what the reason why those are such a high prone failure. Maybe somebody can comment in the comments there. Figure the original Nissan one lasted probably 80,000 miles, so probably be better to go with the OEM next time around. But we'll try the Dora last, see how long that one lasts. No pun intended, from AutoZone, not a sponsor. So hopefully this video helps somebody out. I apologize for the lengthiness of me fiddling with that one screw going back down in here. It's probably not even going to show up. Yeah, it's right here. There's a screw right there. It looks like it has a Phillips on it too. It's a 10mm, and that's the one I was fighting lining it up, because when you're dealing with the sunshine and it just shadows everything, and I was trying to give you guys optimal view and doing it left-handed. So, but I'm done complaining. Just wanted to explain why that part took so long. Just make sure these little clips are put back in here for those, like that clip there that just holds the wire loom for the mass airflow sensor. So hopefully this video helps somebody out. If it does, please rate, comment, subscribe. Also check out on my channel, Blazer Guy 1983, all one word. I did a video on how to replace this primary insulator mount, which adversely will show you how to disconnect this too, because you have to unscrew some of this torque mount here to actually do that. So I mean, that might actually help you out. And yeah, so hopefully it gives you some help. Also some videos on how to do the valve cover gasket on this 2.5 if that's of interest to you. So other than that, I say it's a job well done. Thanks for watching, guys.